Hey everyone, Andrew Chalman here with MachineSkills.com. This is going to be the first video in an introductory series for the Maschine MK2 hardware. Now if you're already pretty comfortable on the hardware and you know what you're doing, this might not be the most useful video series for you. But if you just picked up your machine and you're looking for a place to start, hopefully this will be of some use. So that said, in this first video I want to cover the browse menu in Maschine. And this is going to allow you to browse and load different sounds, different groups, and other different things in Maschine. And before we do this, we're going to need to create an empty group to which we can load different things. Now for me, I already have my microphone running in group A, so if I load anything on top of that, it's automatically going to overwrite that. And I don't want that, so I'm just going to create a new group here just by pressing that button, and we are ready to start going into the browse menu. So to do that, I'm just going to go to the top, and then you can see once we enter into the browse menu, things are a lot different on the screens over here. Okay, so let's just go through some of the different options that we have. These two arrows here are going to allow you to choose between high-level selections. So we have projects, just full machine project files. We have different groups, which will include drum kits, stuff like that. We have sounds, which is going to occupy a single pad space in Maschine. This will be different instruments or stuff like that. And we also have our instruments, which is going to be where you find your VST effects. Those are also just going to occupy one pad. We also have effects, which can be loaded on the master, on the group, or the sound levels. We have our samples as well, and this is where you'll find different wave samples from Machine's internal library, as well as any third-party samples that you have loaded into Maschine. So for me, I just want to go over to the group selection here and load up a drum kit. So now that I have my high level selected with these arrows up here, I can also further narrow down my search. And I can do this by using these two arrows here as well as these knobs. So you see you can choose between types and product. Now product is where you'll find any of your expansion packs if you have any of those. And you can also go to the Maschine option here and then select between the 1.8 and the 2.0 library. Now if you go to types, you can also choose between specific types of drum kits. So you can see I can go between vinyl kit, percussion kit, anything like that. And for right now I'm just going to work with my vinyl kits, and then once I have that selected, I can use the list menu on the other screen. So I can navigate this list just by turning any of these knobs here, and I can also use the big encoder knob. And if I find something I like, I can either press the load button up here or just press down on the knob. And if I want to choose a different kit, I'll just go find one. So it's really easy to sort of go through different groups and audition them out. Now there's a neat option here with this plus pattern button here. Now if I enable this and then reload my kit, if I press the restart button here, you can hear that it plays a pre-recorded pattern. In some cases, you'll actually have several patterns from which you can choose from. Now, this will be a nice way if you're trying to get some ideas for your drum kits. Now, if you don't like this, you can easily just go into the pattern menu here and then just delete all of them, and then make sure to deselect that option so it doesn't happen every time you load a new kit. But if you're looking for some inspiration, I sometimes use that just to hear sort of what the original kit designers had in mind. So a nice option there if you're looking into that sort of stuff. Okay, so I'm done with my group selection here. I'm going to delete my group and then add a new one so I can start from a clean slate. And I'll head over to the sounds and show you how to work with that browse menu here. So similar to what we had before, you can choose between different options with the types. For me, I'm just going to go to instruments, go into a plucked sound, and just find something using the menu here, and just the same way we did before, load it up. Now this only occupies a single pad space here, but you can go into keyboard mode by pressing the shift button and the pad mode button here, and this will allow you to go into keyboard mode and play the instrument on a chromatic scale. So nice control over that, and you can also change your octaves just by holding the pad mode button, going up or down with those octaves there. So that's how you load an individual sound. If I exit my pad mode and select a new empty sound slot, I can enter into a new sound, load that up, and then I have two different sounds on two different pads. So nice little options there for loading some different instruments on different pads. Maybe you want to go through and play them and see how they sound in your project. So I'm going to delete this group again, start a new one, and head over to my instruments option up here. So exactly like we did before, we can go into the different options here. For me, I'm going to go to my massive product, and then I'll just leave it off, and then go into my types, select let's do a synth lead here, and then I'll just go through, load any of these random ones up here. And just like we did before, you can exit out, select a new one, and then load it up. Now if you're in keyboard mode on one of your sounds, and you want to get to your other sound without exiting keyboard mode, you can easily just press the select button here, press your other pad, and that way you can easily switch between the different sounds while staying in keyboard mode. So if you want to keep playing around, it's a nice way to navigate like that. Now I'm going to delete this group and go once more into my samples menu up here. Now in this menu you'll find your individual wave samples, so these will be organized in ways where you can create your own drum kits or maybe your own one-shot samples or anything like that. Just to give you a quick demo, if I go into the drums section here and then find a snare, I'll have all my different snares here, and you have the option to pre-hear it. This will allow you to hear it in your headphones before you load it up. And then you just load it up the same way we've been doing before. And you also have options for different types of snares. Just like we did before, there's all those different categories from which you can choose. So lots of control over those individual samples. It makes it easy to maybe create your own drum kits or your own different effects kits, anything like that. Just wanted to show you how you get to those different samples. So I think that covers the basics of the browse menu in Maschine. I'll go into effects in a later video. And I didn't go into projects, but that's self-explanatory. Same way we've been doing before. You can just scroll through those and load up different projects. So that brings this first video to a close, and we are now ready to move on to the next one.